This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses, for the controversy of Zion. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth of sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 8, is that I want to play a short clip of Tucker Carlson interviewing Mike Huckabee. All right. Mike Huckabee is a self-proclaimed Christian Zionist, and he's the U.S. ambassador to the statehood of the JJs. All right. And in this short clip, Tucker Carlson brings up Genesis 15, okay, and how the statehood of the JJs are using that to justify their war campaign, all right, regarding the Greater Israel Project, okay? And if you don't know anything about the Greater Israel Project, all right, these JJs, these 1948ers, these small hats, all right, these Zionists, along with the Christian Zionists, like Mike Huckabee, all right, want all this territory, all right, for the statehood of the JJs, okay? Because they believe, all right, by doing this, they're fulfilling Genesis 15. See, everything is surrounded and centered around the Bible. There is no getting around it, okay? Even the wicked, all right, are using particular scriptures, all right, for their own ambitions, all right? Now, clearly Genesis 15 is talking about a future prophecy that the Lord is going to do for his people, okay? But these devils, all right, are using that scripture, all right, to justify why they need to cleanse Gaza, cleanse, all right, the West Bank, and start wars in Lebanon, which they already have started wars in Lebanon, okay, Syria, Iraq, you name it, all right, and that's why Saudi Arabia is going to turn on these devils, all right, because they know what these JJs are up to, and Egypt's going to turn on these devils because they know what these JJs are up to, okay? But let's play because, again, this is the controversy of Zion, and that's why you wacky-tacky plantation Christians, you have nothing to say, all right, because these Zionists and these Christian Zionists, all right, they're willing to shed blood to fulfill what's it called? Biblical prophecy, okay? While we're saying that the Lord is going to do this. Yeah, you attack us because we're saying that the Lord is going to deliver us, okay? And put all you heathens into slavery, okay? But when these JJs are doing this, okay, you ain't got nothing to say, all right? And that's why, people like Vocab Malone and the rest of you plantation Christians, all right, you lost, you're losers, all right? And that's why it makes sense why the apostle elders have said that if you clowns come up to our camps, all right, we're going to call the cops on you because you're unreasonable. You don't even talk about this, all right? So now let's play, because check this out, man, all right? Well, check out what Tucker Carlson, all right, brings out regarding the Greater Israel Project.
You've appealed to Genesis. Genesis 15 says it's Abram, it's pre-Abraham, it's Abram, receives from God the news that his descendants will inherit the land. And you tell me as the theologian if I'm getting this wrong, but from the Euphrates to the Nile. I think that's right.
Right. So back to the map, right? So this is it from the Nile, all right, to the Euphrates and all here, okay? And they're going back to, they're associating it with Genesis 15. Let's bring it out, okay? Because This is a promise, but Yahushua is going to make this happen, and he calls Jesus, all right, after he's judged the inhabitants of the earth, okay? That's why he said, vengeance is mine. But these devils are doing it out of their own means, okay? They're doing it carnally. That's, again, this is why the wars are not going to end. The wars are going to get bigger. Get ready for a draft. Get ready for conscription. That war in Iran's about to kick off. They didn't send all that military warplanes, okay, naval ships, okay, equipment, all right? They're saying that this is the largest staging since the Iraq War of 2003, okay? Meaning it's going down. Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. In the same day, the Lord Yahweh made a covenant with Abram. Abram means exalted father, saying, unto thy seed, the seed of who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Israelites, 12 tribes. All right, that's another thing. You know, all you hear is Jewish. What about the other tribes? Okay. Unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt, talking about the Nile, onto the great river, the river Euphrates. Right. So again, this is it. Okay, what they call the Greater Israel Project. Okay, and this is why the wars will never end, and that's why they're doing a genocide in the West Bank and in Gaza. They just clean the house. All right, because they're going back to Genesis 15. So they're using the Bible, all right, to fulfill their ambitions. So let's continue on.
And that would include, like, basically the entire Middle East. That would be the Levant, so that would be Israel, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon. It would also be big parts of Saudi Arabia and Iraq. It would be, I mean...
I'm not sure it would go that far. I mean, it would be a big piece of land, but here's the point.
It would be a lot of places that are now country.
See, he didn't even deny it. He's like, I'm not sure it'll go that far, but he didn't even deny those countries. So, again, all right, this is the controversy of Zion. All right, they're clearly, all right, through carnal means want to expand, okay, and kill and maim and kick out these other nations. So is that according to the Bible? All right, did the Lord tell the children of Israel that in the end times you're going to rage war, okay, on all the nations, okay, surrounding you? All right, in the end times. No, the children of Israel will be in captivity. They need to be delivered. Okay? So again, this proves that these are not the chosen people.
A big piece of land, but here's the point.
It would be a lot of places that are now countries.
But this particular area that we're talking about now, Israel, is a land that God gave through Abraham to a people that he chose. It was a people, a place, and a purpose.
Oh, he said chose. All right? So, hey, you plantation Christians, why aren't you cursing out Mike Huckabee? All right? Yeah, you want to come to us Hebrew Israelites when we say the Lord chose the children of Israel, which is us, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. Okay? The Lord, hey, back to the basics, man. Isaiah 44:1. Okay? Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. All right? How come Christian Zionist Mike Huckabee gets it? That's why you plantation Christians are cooked. All right? You have no idea what you're talking about because you don't read, you don't study. Okay? You just go to these stupid hard house churches, listen to the pork chop eating pastor tell you bullshit. Okay? And that's why, again, to stay the hell away from us.
We can look at it that way. Christian Zionism, I want to go back because that's where we started on this.
I'm not going to let you off on this because you have said it 3 times that God gave this land to this people. And so it is entirely...
Which is true, but we're waiting on the deliverance. We're waiting on Yahushua. I'm going to get Isaiah 14. All right? Just bear with me.
Fair for me with respect to ask, what land are you talking about? Because I just read Genesis 15, as I have many times. Mm-hmm. And that land, I think it says, from the Nile to the Euphrates, which is, once again, basically the entire Middle East. So God gave that land to his people, the Jews, or he didn't. You're saying he did. What does that mean? Does Israel have the right to that land? Because you're appealing to Genesis.
Yeah.
You're saying that's the original deed
It would be.
It is. It's the original. It's the promises. The promises, all right, that the Lord, okay, gave to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, starting with Abraham, okay, that we would inherit that land, okay. The only reason why we're not there because we were kicked off. We were kicked out for disobedience. But ultimately, we're going to be delivered, and we're going to be brought back to our land, and it is going to be bigger, okay? Because that's what the Lord chose us. He loves us, all right? But check out what Mike Huckabee says right after this.
Deed.
It would be fine if they took it all.
Woo! He said it would be fine if they
appealed
took it
to
all.
Genesis.
Hold on. Let's go back.
What
So
does that
this is
mean?
why the wars in the so-called Middle East are not going to die down. They're going to get bigger. They're going to get more graphic, and that's why you Americans, okay, you're going to fight in the so-called Middle East, all right? Thanks to these JJs, all right? The least of the flock shall draw them out. But let's play this again.
Does Israel have the right to that land? Because you're appealing to Genesis.
Yeah.
You're saying that's the original deed.
It would be fine if they took it all.
Boom. There you go. It'll be fine. They took it all. Okay? So let me bring, you know what? Before I get Isaiah 14, let's get this scripture out. Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5. Again, this is what the Zionists and the Christian Zionists believe. Okay? They're using Genesis 15 for their expansionism. Okay? What they call the Greater Israel Project. Okay? Where's it at? Well, The Greater Israel Project refers to an expansion of Zionist vision, often rooted in biblical interpretation for the JJ state spanning territory beyond the current borders. Okay? This is what they believe in. All right? And they're using Genesis 15 to justify it. Okay? So, even though they are into LGBTQT, they're into pedo lifestyle and Satanism, they're still using different parts of the Bible to justify their cause. Okay? So you plantation Christians, man, what do you guys say about that? You ain't got nothing to say. Just shut the hell up, man, and get ready for a nuke. Get ready for nuclear war. Plantation Christianity is not the way. It never was. It was a joke, man. It was very deceptive doctrine, all right, and destroyed the bulk of our people. That's why 2/3 of our people here in America are going to die. Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. Idumea is a Greek word for Edom, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, and with the spiteful minds to cast it out for prey. Boom. Okay, this proves that, all right, the people that are currently in the Holy Land are not the chosen people. All right, they are the biblical Edomites. Okay, where they want to call themselves JJs. Okay, all right, they're still Edomites. The JJs are actually from the tribe of Amalek, a descendant of Esau, Edom. Okay, and then you have America, these American Edomites using the statehood of the JJ, okay, as a strategic position, so they can go to war against the Arab nations and the and Iran, the Persians. Okay, so again, these Zionists and these Christian Zionists, and by the way, I like to bring this out all the time. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is a Christian Zionist, self-proclaimed, and he says it openly. Okay. Also, his deputy secretary, okay, Stephen Feinberg, is a Zionist. Okay, so this is why wars are gonna get bigger, and the American military is gonna be, all right, entrapped in it. All right, and it's the will of the Lord, because the Lord said, all right, that He will take the northern army in the book of Joel chapter 2 around the 20th verse, all right, into a land barren and barren and desolate. Right? Let me get that real quickly, just not to butcher that up. So we're here, man. This is the controversy Zion. Everything's surrounded, barren and desolate. Yep, everything's surrounded around the Bible. Joel chapter 2 verse 20. But I will remove from you the northern army. That's America. This is why you'll never leave the Middle East. Look at what's going on. Donald Trump's, all right, staging the largest, okay, military buildup since the 2003 Iraq War, okay? And will drive him into a land barren and desolate with his face toward the East Sea and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, all right? The East Sea, represents the Euphrates River, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea represents the Red Sea. This is why, if you look at America's naval ships, they're always going through the Red Sea, okay, and they're always going through and they have their military scattered from the Red Sea all throughout to the Euphrates River, okay, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things right. Judgment, okay. Now let's go to Isaiah 14. Back to the milk scriptures, back to the basics. Because what did the Lord say that he was going to do for his people? All right, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Meaning he's going to do it himself. Not this carnal means. Not no Balfour Declaration. Not no Greater Israel Project. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Plain, okay? That's what the Bible's talking about. So we're waiting on Yahweh Shai, who inly calls Jesus, to deliver us from captivity and set us in our own land, okay? What these devils are doing is totally contrary to what the Bible's saying. This is the controversy of Zion, all right? And everything's centered around the Bible, all right? This is why judgment is coming, all right? The vast majority of people that are walking this earth are going to be put down by the Lord, all right, because they're wicked, they're evil, especially you plantation Christians. You make up what? Billions, right? All right, that's how we know you ain't got the truth. You ain't, all right, got it. There's over 1 billion so-called plantation Christians, and the world is worse than it ever is, which proves, all right, your doctrine is false. It's a lie, and the Lord's breaking it. And this is powerful stuff right here. Okay, what do you plantation Christians got to say about this? And with that, I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep the door, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostles, elders. We're almost out of here. Things are getting spicy. Everything's being revealed. All right, stay locked in. All right, for the few that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, pray, cup of shalom.